welcome everybody. March 12th, 2023. Today is our ordination of Rebecca Be Friend. Be, welcome. You look lovely today.
Thank
So
you.
happy to have you here.
I'm so glad to be here.
Wonderful. And thank you
Yeah.
for reordaining with us.
Yes. It's been 15 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it is kind of amazing.
All right. So Sally, did you want to start with the Lord's Prayer?
Yes, I'll do that. Everyone compose yourselves. Father, Mother of the cosmos, shimmering light of all, focus your light within us as we breathe your holy breath. Enter the sanctuary of our hearts, uniting within us the sacred rays of your power and beauty. Let your heart's desire unite heaven and earth through our sacred union. Help us fulfill what lies within the circle of our lives today. Forgive our secret fears as we freely choose to forgive the secret fears of others. Let us not enter forgetfulness, tempted by false appearances, but seek the truth. For from your astonishing fire comes the eternal song, which sanctifies all, renewed eternally in our lives throughout creation. We seal these words in our hearts, committed in truth and faith, and so it is.
So it is. All right.
Dearest friends and family, welcome to this sacred moment in the life of our sister, Be Friend. Today we celebrate her ordination into the Madonna ministry and welcome her into the Madonna interfaith community. We of the Madonna ministry understand the following. There is one power, one presence, one life, and one intelligence that expresses itself everywhere and in everything. Spirit as mind is undifferentiated spirit in form, the absolute in the material, and the infinite in the finite. Creator is all, in all, as all. Divine will and divine grace are equal aspects of the oneness. Unconditional love is the manifested expression of spirit. Our interfaith ministry reveals the way. Divine feminine opens the way for us to develop the power of our truth and ways to express it. This is an integral part of this holy ordination, for it is designed to illustrate the development of divine power. The Madonna ministry is an embodiment of love. We of the Madonna ministry proclaim that Be Friend has accepted her responsibilities as following: to be merciful, to be kind and compassionate in thought and attitude, to neither judge nor condemn any person, country, beliefs, or customs that are different from her own, to treat all people as members of her spiritual family, for they are, to keep her heart state of divine love, to hold the high ideals of truth and love, knowing that spirit is at work in all people and all situations, to work with spirit to establish lasting peace on earth, and to be a peacemaker by choice. Do you understand and accept these and all responsibilities to be a teacher of love in the Madonna ministry?
I'm gonna have a caveat like Sally did, and just say I too do think that we all judge at times things that are right or wrong. And with that, when I do, I also understand that I need to be thankful and grateful for people who do things that are wrong that I know I wouldn't want to do, because they show us what we don't want. So I understand the divinity in even those actions, even when I do judge them. So that's my caveat for today in that. And yes, I do accept all of that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Love is the synthesizing life force that recognizes unity in diversity and the infinite good in humanity. Love is the way and the threshold to goodwill, right relationship, peace, creative fulfillment, infinite joy, and boundless truth. Love possesses nothing and provides everything. As we express love, we are the healing, the healer, and the healed. Will you nurture and sustain the universal nature of unconditional love?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. The purpose of the Madonna Ministry is to teach, counsel, inspire, and heal by example, and through service and in process, strive to convey consciously and purposefully the creativity of our divine selves. Thus, our bishops, as representatives of the Madonna Ministry, pledge to you a safe and loving environment within which you may spread your wings and let your ministry soar.
The sacrament of ordination is offered to individuals who are already administering to others. It is a spiritual and legal acknowledgement of your authority to serve in this capacity. Let us pray. O divine Spirit, through this sacrament of ordination, may you awaken Be and activate her divine potential for the glory of divine love and the enlightenment of our world. And so it is.
So it is.
Be, do you have a prayer for us and a short letter of commitment?
The letter that I wrote, I'm happy to share. I'm excited to share my interest and intent to be reordained with Madonna Ministry International. Attending the Sunday services recently has given me a place to drop in and feel a sense of peace and community while exploring topics that support my spiritual journey. Thank you to the community of Madonna Ministries for creating such a space. Truly, thank you. Also, thank you for allowing me to facilitate a service recently. Being reordained is part of a journey of healing that I'm on, stepping back onto my active spiritual path after the unexpected interruption that serious chronic health issues created in my life. The first time I was ordained with Madonna Ministries back in 2008 felt like a confirmation of the life path I was walking back then, working with people to help them get in touch with spirit consciously and raise energy to fuel their world. During that time, my connection to spirit world was consciously strong. The unexpected health challenges interrupted many aspects of my life for quite a while, including personal connections, my career, and spiritual path. Working towards reordination has been a step that concretely showed my determination to be firmly rooted in spiritual connection again, in the daily workings of manifesting my life goals. Then and now, I find myself doing spiritual work with people one-on-one or in small groups in many ways. The personal connections that are formed, bounded in trust, help all parties to elevate to deeper connections on their spiritual journeys. Being an ordained minister for me is a way to indicate to myself and the outside world my dedication to consciously weave spiritual work into daily life. Ordination is a means of focus and declaring intent, and is just one of the tools I utilize in my life's work of helping myself and others reconnect and strengthen that connection with spirit. Simultaneously, I'm working towards another career goal of becoming a licensed psilocybin facilitator in Oregon, which will complement my ministry in a parallel fashion, rather than overlap my work in one area being supportive of the other while independent of each other. I see these two paths as the two parallel train tracks leading to my new future in the second half of my life, as I will turn 50 this coming summer. So yeah, thank you for that.
Beautiful.
Oh, and the prayer I'd like to offer is, let's just take a moment and recognize the divinity in all. I truly believe that is true, that everyone, everywhere, all over the world are connecting in to the divine, universal life spark of creative energy. And my specific prayer today is to help everyone understand that, because long ago, tribes were far apart from each other, and they were in different parts of the world with different conditions around them, and they learned to connect to spirit based on where they were, what was around them, and the traditions that they formed culturally within themselves. And I think people have lost sight of that. So I'm sending out this prayer and hoping you all will join me, that everyone does recognize that unity and connectedness of all of the spiritual beliefs and religions of the world, connecting to that one divine spirit. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay. Kevin, are you prepared to read the communion prayer?
Yes, I am. If everyone could just take a moment and bless their communion offerings. And we return thanks to our mother, the earth, which sustains us. We return thanks to the rivers and streams which supply us with water. We return thanks to all herbs, which furnish medicines for the cure of our illnesses. We return thanks to the bushes and trees, which provide us with fruit. We return thanks to the wind, which moving the air banishes disease. We return thanks to the moon and stars, which gives us light when the sun is gone. Finally, we return thanks to the Great Spirit, who is embodied all goodness and who directs all things for the good of Earth's children.
Beautiful.
So it is. Okay. Charlie, would you please read the unification mantra?
I've asked Bobby to read that, and I have something else I'd like to share.
Okay. Please proceed.
Unification mantra. Also, well, what? I think I'm close enough on it.
Okay. You're good.
All souls are one, and I'm one with them. Pardon me. I seek to love, not hate. I seek to serve and not exact due service. I seek to heal, not hurt. Let plain bring due reward of light and love. Let the soul control the outer form and life and all events, and bring to light the love that underlies the happiness of the times. Let vision insight come. Let the future stand revealed. Let inner union demonstrate. The outer cleavages be gone. Let love prevail. Let us all love.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Sally, were you having somebody read the words for the new minister?
Yes, I have something that we will do after we do the anointing.
Okay, because I found this document called Words for the New Minister. Do you have
Yeah,
that?
that's it. That's what I read at the end.
Okay,
Okay.
what I'd like to share this briefly then is a mantra that I've written. It's
Okay.
called Thou Art Living as Me. That's the title. It goes, Thou art living as me, expressing harmony. Thou art living as me, expressing creativity, spirit divine. Thou art living as me, expressing beauty. Thou art living as me, expressing liberty, spirit divine. Thou art living as me, expressing joyfully. Thou art living as me, expressing peacefully, spirit divine. Thou art living as me, expressing profoundly. Thou art living as me, expressing truthfully, love divine. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. That was beautiful. All right, we now come to the anointing portion of the ceremony. And B, if you would open up your little bottle. Okay, do you have someone who can anoint you, or are you by
I'm just
yourself?
gonna do it by myself.
Okay, all right. I will do this. Okay, so that you know, you'll probably be able to tell from the words. And Laura, would you please read the anointing prayer while B anoints herself?
Yes. We call upon the Divine Mother and Father in all their faces and aspects, and all the angels and ascended masters to be in this circle of love and union, to bless, guide, protect, heal, and nurture your new path as a minister of the Madonna Ministry. From our Mother's heart and as bishops of the Madonna Ministry, we bless you. We bless your eyes, that they may always see perfection in each soul, and that you may always see the light of truth in the eyes of each other. We bless your ears, that you may always listen to others' true needs and desires. We bless your lips, that you may always speak to others with words of kindness, understanding, acceptance, encouragement, and truth. We bless your heart, that it may always beat in unison to the rhythms of the songs of your life's journeys, knowing that the love you share for all humanity is the greatest gift and accomplishment in life. We bless your hands, that they may always touch with tenderness and healing, helping those in need to reach their goals and their soul's purposes. We bless your feet, that they may carry you effortlessly and safely to all your destinations while treading lightly upon Mother Earth and her family.
Thank you, Laura.
You will. Yep.
B, through the power invested in us by the Madonna Ministry, being the ministerial arm of the Madonna Interfaith Community, on this Sunday, March 12th, 2023, we ordain you, Rebecca B. Friend, a minister with all the honors, privileges, and obligations into the Madonna Ministry. And we'll be sending your certificate shortly. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to be back in community with Madonna Ministry. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Charlie, do you have any closing remarks you would like to address to B?
Well, I hope somebody's going to be reading for the words for the new ministry.
I will.
Okay, my closing remarks then is this. I express my gratitude for everyone involved in the Madonna Ministry in the Donna Interfaith Community, those people seen and unseen, known and unknown, that have carried this organization to the present moment, to celebrate the spirit within each one of us, and to honor that and have our commitment go forward in serving humanity and the planet. And so it is.
And so it is.
It is.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay. All right, and now Words of New Ministers. This is a poem that I put together that it's based on a poem by one of our ministers, Walked Softly. As new ministers, you're like beachcombers, wandering the beaches of your new ministry, looking for your unique expression of service. This journey will be a beautiful one, though not always easy. You may encounter some barren, rocky places, but with perseverance, the treasures will be found. Instead of seashells, driftwood, and colored glass, your treasures will be found in the hearts of those whom you touch with your love and service. Your pockets will then be filled with their love and gratitude. And when your journey is finished and you drift away on the tides of eternity, the treasure of love will remain in the hearts of those you have touched. You are not alone in this journey. We are all also traveling the same beaches and seashores, looking for treasures. Our footprints in the sand will cross, and from time to time we'll travel side by side. We are here to guide and help if you have need. Now enjoy the journey and cherish the treasures you find along the way. Blessings of the One upon you always be. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is. B, I give you the blessing of the ministry. We are with you. We are part of your love. We are always here for you. We will never leave you out in the cold. We hold you and fold you in our hearts. We ask you to go out into the world as a way shower of love, remembering that you are the blessor, the blessed, and the blessing. Enjoy your journey. So it is.
And so it is.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right.
Yay! Woohoo!
Party time.
And there was
Yeah.
much rejoicing.
Lovely. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Anybody else have anything they wanted to say to B or discuss or?
Yeah. B and Sally, we and Kevin actually, we have had to ordain you via the internet, and it's not the same as being in person. We've done our best for you. We have invoked Spirit to be with us in all this, but we're really hoping that the next time we have a conference, you can all attend.
Yeah.
And we can give you the hugs and anointings in person because it is so much more powerful.
Yes.
And we look forward to that possibility in the future. And until then, we're with you, on telephones and on Zoom and however else we can be, to support you and to sojourn with you on this journey. So blessed be to all three of you.
Blessed be.
I feel like I'm in good company.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
All right.
so now what?
How long ago were you ordained, Kevin?
What, April? I think it was April.
Yeah,
Was it?
within this last year.
Yeah. I got the certificate here. The date's probably written on it.
Yeah.
But I on a good day, I don't have any concept of time, so I have no idea when it was.
True.
So Sally and B, I will be sending your certificates, and Paul and I are getting together a little welcome packet for you. And I think we should send one to Kevin too.
Yes.
Yep.
Although you've been with us for a while now. And we're going to send it to Nikki so that she can sign the certificates.
Yep.
And then with her name, since she was your ordaining bishop, and then she will send those on to you. So within the next couple of weeks, you should get your certificates.
And did we decide that this was the way we were going with the welcome package?
For now, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I have blue scarves for all three.
Beautiful.
And Paula has some rose oil, anointing oil for the three of you.
Nice.
And I don't know what else we're putting in there, but probably something, who knows?
You've
A little surprise.
got creative people out there.
Yeah, so those will be coming.
Awesome.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Kevin and B and I should meet somewhere and party.
Well, you represent
can-
3 corners of the North American continent, so
Wow.
Yeah, where are we all? That's curious.
I'm
Like,
in Ottawa, Canada.
Okay.
I'm in Houston, Texas, and then July, August, September, October, I'll be in Upper Michigan.
Okay. And I'm in Portland, Oregon.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
I'm in Connecticut.
Wow.
Yep, that's sacred geometry if you connect those dots,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
Bobby.
Nikki, you're in California,
San Diego.
Nice.
and
Along-
Charlie and Bobby are in California.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Carrie's in the south, right?
Marginally, Virginia in the mountains.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go to Carrie's.
I'm in
We have
Rhode
a brand-
Island.
We have a brand new
Southern Rhode
state
Island.
park. We're happy to welcome people.
Oh, beautiful.
I missed where Sally.
I'm in
Dwyer-
Southern Rhode Island.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm in Connecticut.
Nice.
Debbie,
So-
you're in Connecticut too?
Yeah, Paula is too, right?
Yeah.
Paula, yeah.
Yep.
Marvelous of the internet. And Rebecca, you were one of the youngest members of our group. So I hope you last long enough to carry it forward for us. A lot of us getting, like myself, old.
Yeah. Well, that's surprising that I'm the youngest.
Isn't it nice to be the youngest? I love the rare opportunity where I'm the youngest person in the crowd, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's
Adopt older friends. That's what I
I
did.
do have many older friends. Thank
On
you.
my 60th birthday, I surrounded myself with 80-year-olds.
Aw,
So I was the youngest one in the room.
that's
Yep.
sweet.
Way to go, brother.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Awesome.
I prepared a little vestment for doing some ministry work. I wanted to show you guys. It has dragons on it.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh,
I
it's
love it.
it's gorgeous.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's lovely.
Wow.
I
Wow,
think that would be a nice thing to have when I do
definitely.
anything more official.
Let me tell you a good story about a dragon, if I may. Would you like to hear a brief
Yes.
story?
Would love
Years
it.
ago, I joined a meditation group in Laguna Beach, and it was the instructor was Ron Jew, who was responsible for bringing the Dalai Lama to the U.S. Anyway, in the meditation, I saw a dragon in the castle, that like in the dungeon, and there he was. And I looked at him and noticed that the dungeon door was unlocked. And so what I got from that was the dungeon of the dragon was a part of me.
Mm.
And that I had the dragon locked up, but it wasn't locked up. It was self-imposed. So the self-imposition of of our belief systems that keep us locked up from expressing our higher good. And when I witnessed that, I was able to let the dragon out. Now, for me, the dragon is also a symbol of air, of water, and of land. So the dragon has permission to travel in all dimensions. So it has allowed me the privilege to travel in all dimensions since I freed my dragon. That's cool.
That is beautiful.
That was very nice.
There's
All right.
something else I could share too, if you have a moment.
Love it.
Years ago, Arnold Michael, who founded our ministry, he lived in Ojai, and I was residing as a minister of a church in El Centro, California, which is like a 5-hour drive or 6-hour drive to get to Ojai. But one Sunday, Arnold Michael had the privilege of performing kind of a devotional service regarding the infant Jesus of Prague. And I didn't know a lot about, but I wanted to attend it. So how do you attend something when you're 6 hours away? So I put that out in my Sunday service, and sure enough, one of the fellows in the audience had an airplane. He offered to fly me to Santa Paula, which was right next to Ojai, so I could attend the service. And to my amazement, when I got there, and I brought up traditional Catholic, was that there was a statue of the infant of Prague. And Arnold Michael was never Catholic. He was brought up as a Southern Baptist, and later on developed into mysticism and New Thought movement and religious science. So he really expanded. But here he is in his living room, setting up a beautiful altar with a statue of our child, the infant of Prague, of Jesus. And there must have been, about 50 people in a small home. And beautiful ceremony was conducted. And I had the privilege of serving communion. And it was truly a mystical moment. And so people of all faiths, it didn't matter what faith you were, it mattered that the spirit that moved the people that were there was a true celebration of oneness. It was totally marvelous. So I did a little research on the infant of Jesus, the infant of Prague, and found out that Teresa of Avila, who some of you probably know, and she's very worth knowing, because in her time, she made a tremendous difference in the Spanish community that was going through the Spanish Inquisition. She was a person that could speak up and not be killed for her thoughts. Anyway, she was a marvelous teacher, and she was a Carmelite nun. And she was given the statue of the infant of Prague. And later, that statue then went to another location, and it eventually ended up in Teresa of the Little Flower, who's also another canonized, beautiful example of a saint that devoted her life to spirit. So no matter where we celebrate life, whatever reminds us of that inner spirit within us, whatever that guides us into expressing our very best, that's guiding us into living itself through us, is always worth celebrating. And so thank you, Arnold, for giving us that opportunity in ministry.
Thanks,
I have
Shirley.
a question for everyone, anyone who would like to share. I really love that this is an interfaith community, and if anybody would like to just share the different spiritual paths that they're walking to kind of, share how it's an interfaith community, I think that would be lovely to hear.
I'm also a celebrant with the American Humanist Association. So that would be my path. It's humanism.
Will you say a little bit about humanism?
It's definitely based in science and reason and belief in human abilities and human capacity, and the way we take care of each other is more
I
of
love
most
that.
emphasis. Yes.
Nice.
I would say the foundation of my spiritual practices, although I do have my Catholicism rituals. Saint Teresa, little flower, was mentioned, is 12-step spirituality. I spend time in the 12 steps. I'm looking at an area of my life right now and I'm working the steps. And I also just, spend every day moving in the 4 directions. That's also from my shadow work training, and just being really attuned to nature and the way that different birds show up in my backyard. I consider those messengers of my spiritual path as well.
Lovely.
I was raised a Methodist in my former years, had a good foundation in the basics of Christianity. As I grew older, I fell away from organized religion because I felt that that women were not given an opportunity to serve in any meaningful capacity. And so I searched for many years, and I was always drawn to pre-Christian, earth-centered practices and affiliations, I guess, if you want to call it that. And as I joined a women's circle in 2000, and we were beginning to work with the divine feminine, and that's where I found my home. And then and I learned Native American practices. I learned and I did more research into ancient Celtic practices. And so I was able to essentially blend the two because they are parallel paths. So currently I am I kind of embrace them all like our ministry does. But in my heart, I'm still very drawn to the ancient pre-Christian spirituality, reverence for nature, reverence for all the spirits that the divine creator works with for us here on earth. And I work with angels a lot, which they sort of oversee everything. And so I'm kind of this smorgasbord of spirituality there. I know enough about a number of different paths that I'm able to sort of intertwine most of them. So that helps me when dealing with folks who are not strictly this or strictly that or strictly something else. And it's been very helpful for me.
I'm also a mixed bag. I've been trained in guided energy medicine and pranic healing, but have studied some shamanism and ceremony and ritual for Native American churches that honor nature, like Sally, and then Tantra, which brought in the divine feminine. So those are my main areas.
I'm a recovering Catholic. 5 years of Catholic school taught by nuns. I tell people. I fear no man. I was taught by nuns. Yeah, metal rulers. Yeah, they couldn't really punish me because I was an honor student, but I asked too many questions. I can't tell you how many times I had to go home at night and write 1,000 times. I will not question the word of God. My punishment. But yeah, I always had, but sister, how can there be a holy war? I don't understand. Yeah, holy war. That makes no sense, sister. So I kind of put my own religion together too. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, nature, angels, fairies. So yeah, I'm a little bit of everything. Yeah. But I still have my crucifix in my room sitting on my desk over here just in case. And I got like a prayer wheel, and I got an Om symbol, and a little bit, cover all bases, a little bit of everything.
Nice.
I was brought up congregational. I was actually baptized Methodist and went to a congregational church until I went away to college. I went to a Presbyterian college, and I tried to get a little taste of all the different religions. Like on weekends, we would go to a different church every Sunday. And but then and I was married in a Presbyterian church, but then after I was left with a 4-year-old, I kind of lost faith in everything. And it wasn't until I got into Al-Anon 12-step program that I rediscovered my spirituality. And then I met Sally and Paula and got involved with their women's circle, and talked a lot about the divine feminine. I also have many friends who are shamans and have done a lot of shaman rituals and things. I also have a Native American background, so I like to do a lot of Native American things. I love trees and animals, and I am where I am today, so I kind of embrace all of that.
Nice.
Well, I come from I call it a severe Calvinistic background, and I was raised a staunch Baptist. Even the Southern Baptist Church was too liberal for my family. And so then I have had some theological training, and Deb, I understand what you mean. I had the nerve to ask an Old Testament history why. And of course, that had me blacklisted. And then my ministry became working with the gay rights movement and changing one soul at a time. And that has been my life goal. I'm a retired undertaker, and for the last 20 years, I've worked on the board of the AIDS Committee of Ottawa. So I guess most of my occupation or vocation has been caring for the dying and the deceased and the families who are surviving. And so I retired from that about 3 years ago, and now I'm just I take a little bit from every religion that kind of speaks to me, and that I know feels right in my heart, and that's how I try to live on a daily basis.
Lovely. I grew up Methodist as well, baptized when I was like 5. And at 9, I recall that's when I started telling my mom that all the religions were all connected to the same thing. And she didn't agree. And it felt like I kind of buried that in like a little time capsule within myself. And then as an adult, when I was studying Kabbalah and like a Western esoteric tradition, and started to work with Tantra, it felt like that was getting unearthed again, and like helped me to understand and reconnect that we're all connected to the same thing. And I also had a lovely friend who's a rabbi and was also in coven with Starhawk, who was the officiant at my wedding. So I love how she, you know, was an example of like, you can be connected to more than one spiritual tradition. And she's a really lovely friend of mine. And so it's been great to hear all of your stories and feel like very resonant with that. So thank you for sharing all those. Appreciate it.
We hear from Paula and then Charlie and Bobby.
I started out Catholic, not my choice. It just never fulfilled me. I never figured out why we had to have a middleman, why we couldn't talk to Creator ourselves. Every time I asked that question, I was punished. So when I finally grew up, I started looking elsewhere, and I looked into earth-based religions like Wicca, and decided if I was going to do Wicca, it was going to be a solitary, because I really did not like the coven mentality that I had met. They were almost worse than the Catholic mentality I had met. So when I found Sally's Circle with the help of my dear husband, it was like, oh, we're talking about woman stuff. This is good. And then when I was finally ordained in the ministry and went to my first conference, the first thought I had was, oh my God, I have found my tribe that I had been looking for all my life. And Charlie, bless his heart, took me aside and asked me all kinds of questions about myself. I had no idea who Charlie was at that time. I just thought he was another one of the guys at the conference. And then somebody said, you know who you just spent 2 hours talking to? I went, no. But he was wonderful, and he was very welcoming, and everybody else was very welcoming. And I had the most wonderful weekend I have had since I married Matthew. And it was like, you know, the world opened up, and this is where I'm meant to be. I've been here ever since. Back to you.
Charlie and Bobby.
Well, I started out as a foot washer Baptist. And I know what a foot washer Baptist is in the South. It's a very common expression used to be. My great grandfather was a Southern Baptist circuit rider. In those days, he would get up, you know, very, very early before dawn and ride his horse around all the different farms and preach the gospel. So very, very truly down to earth Southern Baptist. You know, we don't shoot, we don't drink, and we don't chew. We don't go with the boys that do. So very strict, like you're saying, Kevin. It makes Southern Baptists look very conservative. So it was that whole different philosophy of collecting people around you from farms and coming together in spirit, because they couldn't get together physically. So that's my background, being a Southern Baptist.
Paula, I wanted to say that sometimes Charlie doesn't know who Charlie is.
It's okay. We love you anyway.
They have pills for that now.
So yeah, I went through 9 years of parochial school training. Then I was back in 3 different states in the East, but then I moved to California and I got more liberalized. And I've had a very interesting journey, and I love being part of this group. And the spirit that created this group is alive and well. But what I want to also acknowledge that for traditional purposes, for the apostolic succession, which means the rite of passage into priesthood, goes all the way back to the first church of Antioch in biblical times, where the people first referred to themselves as Christian. And in those days, Christian meant knowing that God was within. And the early Christian community in Antioch was made up of men and women, and they were treated equally. Women certainly had their voice. They weren't denied that voice. But anyway, if you trace the roots historically, we go back to that rite of passage that we're bringing forth into the present day. So that's the historical development of our ministry. The other thing I'd like to say is that divine revelation, what I've come to understand about divine revelation isn't exclusive. It's not an exclusive thing at all. It doesn't belong exclusively to the Pope or anyone else. But divine revelation comes through all creation. It can come through the animals, through the earth, through the winds, through the sea, and certainly through you and me. So divine revelation. And to the extent that we discover it within ourselves and bring it forth into creation, we are truly ministering, I believe.
Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Great question.
Thanks for sharing, everyone.
Yeah, we're coming up to the end of the hour. Does anybody have any requests for topics for next week? Anybody want to lead a session?
Well, you know, I was thinking along the lines of what we call the Holy Trinity. There's so much to be known about that and how it's a process that works throughout all creation. You know, when I was Catholic, they said, well, God's 3 in 1, and you explained it by a 3-leaf clover, you know. But there's much better explanations of that I've learned through religious science that I could muster up and share some of that.
Okay.
So maybe everybody can kind of bring with them, you know, what that means for them.
Okay.
Bring that forward, and I can share what I know, how it works in our life.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Great.
Sounds
right.
good.
And then lastly, any healing requests, prayer lists, candidates?
I'd like to request a little love going out to my mother, Sharon. She's having a few challenges right now, so she could use some extra support.
Beautiful.
So I think, Rebecca or B, I think it'd be fitting for you to do the closing prayer.
Okay. I don't know if there's anything traditional that we all do, but okay.
Whatever comes from your heart.
Okay. All right. Well, I just want to give thanks for the community, the union that has been shown today and shared, and hope that we can all take that feeling out into the world this week and in the near future and share that with others and create that in other ways as well. So thank you all.
Thank you. And so it is.
So it is.
All right. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Lots of love and hugs.
Thank you,
Blessings.
Stay
everyone.
safe.
Blessings
Yeah.
be.
Here.
Bye.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Nikki, for putting it all together.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
Paula, everyone.